Week 12 of the NFL. Let's start. So let's start with Thursday. Obviously, somebody had to win out of Chicago and Detroit, and the Bears won that game. Boy, Jared Goff. But Matthew Stafford ain't exactly looking that much better. So who really is winning? Well, I guess if you got 7 wins to one tie, 0-10-1, but still, Detroit sucks. And the Bears, Matt Nagy ain't that much better. They had a real head coach with Justin Fields or Andy Dalton. I'd be interested to see what the Bears would look like because they're just not that good, and it's bad. It's bad. Elsewhere, tonight Washington beat Seattle. Um, Heineke looking good. Ron Rivera's coaching up. Could be the end of Russell Wilson in Seattle. Him and Pete Christmas Carroll had a nice run. It ain't happening. And they're not making the playoffs. And they stink. This is a big win for Washington. They still got playoff hopes. They 5-6. Dallas been choking back and back. You never know. Speaking of Dallas, Las Vegas beat them. It was a close game, but the Raiders was doing the thing. Dallas ain't looked that good. They won that game against Atlanta, but that Denver beat down, and then this beat down by the Raiders, they look very vulnerable, to say the least. And of course, Kansas City held on a touchdown. The Raiders are a funny team because the second half was when they collapsed, but they got into them. They beat them. Elsewhere, Cincinnati over Pittsburgh. That ain't a surprise. Joe Burrows is for real. Watch out. I don't think it's necessary this year, but keep your eye on them. Pittsburgh is done. Roethlisberger has been in recline the last 3 years, but Mike Tomlin's a heck of a coach. So that's the reason why they still holding up, but ain't much there. Denver beat the Chargers. I can't figure out the Broncos. They got Teddy Bridgewater. How they handle it. I like Hubert a lot with the Chargers. He had the right coach. The Dan Fouts comparisons would be scary. Eric Coryell with the way he would play, they'd be a scary team. I think the wrong coach. That's killing that kid because throw a lot of bad picks and they got skills. They're a fun team to watch, but they just can't win when they need to. Green Bay beat the Rams. Matthew Stat passed. Don't look up to his name. Packers. Aaron Rodgers. I might not necessarily be fond of him personally, but on the field, that guy gets the job done. They were Von Miller ain't really made a difference. All these star-studded. Why do the Rams and the LA Lakers look like they got on paper? They look like a stud team, but the reality looks like a dud. New England beat Tennessee. I keep got to hear about this as a Bills fan. Mac Jones is doing his part. He looked good yesterday. Their defense came on, but there was a couple of turnovers, and you don't let Ryan Tannehill beat you. He can't do it, but they were still running. It'd be interesting if Derrick Henry and Julio Jones and them guys is all full strength, but you still can't let Ryan Tannehill. I mean, he's Vrabel's Paul and the Belichick Bullbook. Miami beat Carolina. Cam Newton got benched. Tua looked pretty good. Miami's playing a little bit better ball. I think an average team. I just think they tune out their coach. I think that's the real thing because they're not as bad as they record. They just don't have the balance with their coach. You can tell the chemistry and things are off. Jets over Houston. Somebody had to win that game, and Tampa Bay beat Indianapolis. Carson Wentz, if he was healthy, he could be scary, but he's too much like one of the Three Stooges. I can't tell if he's Mo Curly or Larry, but you know he's gonna wobble. They fumbled. Tom Brady made him pay. Ron Gronkowski looked scary, but Leonard Fournette was beasting. He was running. And Tampa Bay got a big game on the road, so watch out their running game. That's the key. Leonard Fournette. If they can get that running game with him and Ronald Jones, if their defense can step up a little bit like they did yesterday, they were outscored them 24-7 second half. San Francisco over Minnesota. I just got through talking about the Colts. The 49ers in the NFC is the most dangerous team that they get in the playoffs. 49ers is looking Debo running. Minnesota just underachieves. It's just a crying shame. Just don't play worth nothing. Giants over Philly. The Giants can play defense, but they just don't let Daniel Jones do nothing. Jalen Hurts had a bad look game, bad picks. Philly, I think they're about a year or two away, really. I just don't like what they run with a system. Giants got a little bit better than what they are, but they both stink. But it's Atlanta beat Jacksonville. Somebody had to win that game. Two dud teams. Baltimore beat Cleveland despite the fact Lamar Jackson threw 4 picks. But let me tell you something. Faker Mayfield, and that's what I call that jive turkey for Cleveland. Because that cat, if he spent half his time learning plays and working his craft as he do making them commercials, turned out Odell Beckham wasn't a problem. He just don't know how to run that team. He got that 2 power running backs. They should be better than what they are. They are underachieving. Cleveland should be one of the 4 best teams in the NFC, if not all the NFL. Just underachieving. Last game I'm going to talk about, my Buffalo Bills beat New Orleans, which they should. New Orleans, Trevor Seaman, all that, they ain't got nothing there. Josh Allen looked good, but he threw 2 bad picks. But we were running the ball, so that's the key when we play New England next week. But anyway, that's the NFL Week 12. Please give me your thoughts and takes. How did your team do? Welcome thoughts and comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear, watch out for another. And it's an interesting year. It's coming down interestingly, but that extra week is gonna be one too many. But that's just my take. I'm out.